users out there, and that whether it's cyclists using signals, motorists looking out for cyclists, and pedestrians really kind of looking out for everybody. Getting cyclists, at least unless they're under the age of 12, off of the sidewalks, which are a tremendous hazard to pedestrians. I think having a Department of Transportation, which I propose to bring the Department of Transportation back into city government to set full policies for all modes of transportation, is critically important. With regard to the city's fleet and idling, whether it's our trucks or SEPTA buses, through the Department of Transportation and our Sustainable Environment Office, I think if there are not set protocols and policies for idling and the pollution that's created as a result of that, we should have some general agreement among at least government agencies that we will not engage in that kind of activity, and how we use our fleets and our role in reducing emissions is certainly within our own control.
The next video question, please, for Alto.
Hello, I'm Doris Waltney, President of the Carroll Park Neighbors and board member of the Philadelphia Park Alliance. Violent crime in our community has become a nightmare. We need safe and clean places for our children to play. A large number of our parks are dumping grounds for garbage, and play equipment is either broken or non-existent. All of Philadelphia's parks need increased and consistent resources to correct this quality of life issue. As mayor, will you increase and diligently seek the funding that will give Philadelphians the parks we deserve? Thank you.
Absolutely. Have my full commitment on that, because I think it's very important for all the reasons I had given before. It creates jobs. It inspires young people. It allows people to recreate, to enjoy, and to take time off from a very busy schedule like Mike and I are having right now. Just to think and relax is so very, very important. But also to fund cleanups and have active participation. I was recently invited to the Mutt Strut in FDR Park. I'll tell you right now, it's the first time I was ever in FDR Park. I guess I was invited as I'm the underdog again, and so I was out with the Mutts. What I saw there, though, and it was a wonderful day, but what I saw in back really shocked me, that there is a lake back there with some really beautiful buildings alongside. Now that lake, I looked at that, is entirely green with duckweed and algae. With a little bit of dollars, that can be cleaned up quite easily. It's management practice. But what really, really shocked me was the amount of trash and litter in the lake. Shouldn't be there. Wasn't put there by the government. It was put there by people, and it needs to be cleaned up. Beer bottles, soda cans, beer cases, you name it, it was there. An absolute eyesore. That lake is as beautiful as any place in the world. It's as beautiful as any place in Vienna or Berlin or Munich, New York City. You name any great city, that lake would look 1,000 times different. It's high time it looked different in Philadelphia. Cleanups are so very, very important, and having something that is of pride and use can go a great way in solving a lot of problems. Because there was a place that you could literally sit and be inspired and think and enjoy, as opposed to, oh my God, this place is a mess, let's walk out. Parks also need the security that goes with that. That's part of that full funding. Having litter fines that it really means something. In Philadelphia right now, to drop all those beer bottles and so on, if you get a fine at all, might be $25. It would be $25. In Chicago, you drop a piece of paper on the floor, that's a $500 fine. That's a serious fine. The police will write the ticket, or other enforcement agencies as well, and it will be taken very seriously. It's high time in Philadelphia that we put a price tag on the penalty for littering. It will. Thank you.
The next video question for Mr. Nutter, please.
The project conception was really back in 2004. The motivation behind it was really an underutilized piece of land down here at the Navy Yard.
It's been very interesting to be a part of something so forward-moving.
Green building has clearly moved from, again, a bit of a fad and a bit of a mysterious kind of a concept to something that I think is very much the standard and very much the norm now.
I hope that buildings like this will, be the future, and we'll see more and more of them in that.
The more I researched, the more I realized that it was more than just energy efficiency that was important. It was water efficiency, it was sustainable use of materials and the land, and also healthy air quality.
The concept of a zero energy home is really a home that burns no fossil fuel.
First and foremost, there's no reason to build the way that we're building now.
Zero energy homes are doable.
Okay, that's our second. That was very beautiful also, and I thank everyone who's done that. From that clip, what would you do to incentivize people to build green and more efficient buildings, whether it's private developers or government?
One of the things that we've seen now in a couple different cities across the country, Chicago may be one, and Mayor Bloomberg has put out his NYC, I guess, 2030 plan. As we go through this zoning reform commission process, I think we have to make a political judgment that we're going to incorporate LEED building standards into our zoning code as well as our building code. That it's not just on a case-by-case basis, but that is the general policy of the City of Philadelphia that we want to require that type of building in Philadelphia, that those plans for those buildings certainly will get the quickest review, and that depending on what comes out of this process and other analysis that may take place, that if there are opportunities for a short period of time to provide some upfront incentive to developers to move in that direction as we're going through this zoning code change process, we should be more than willing to explore that, if not put some legitimate dollars on the table. I think that, again, whether, Flavia started this program talking about people, hugging trees. I think that in many, many ways, if people understood the positive impact that being an environmental activist could be just in our own homes. It's not just about whether you like trees or whether you're plant flowers. I mean, I have zero green skills under any bodies. I mean, every plant I've ever had has
I definitely feel I have an advantage here now.
No question, and you're using it to your fullest capacity. I mean, every plant I've ever had has died. I mean, but I get it. I mean, I understand why this is an important issue, and providing that kind of incentive, putting our own city buildings in the Lead for Existing Buildings program. The city has to lead by example. If we can explain to property owners, especially homeowners, the impact of different decisions that they might make, that there would be opportunities to, whether you're lowering your energy costs by replacing your windows, fixing things early as opposed to waiting until you're literally in a situation where the water is dripping through the roof, all of those kinds of steps. Homeowner information packages going out on how you can save money early on by making certain investments, and that over time you can not only improve the environment but also the bottom line in your household. That any new building that gets built, we would require a costing out study of which energy usage, types of energy usage that particular building would have to utilize. Those are the kinds of things I think government can do to provide leadership. Thank you. Sorry, I went over my time.
I'm going to give you a softball here since you're the gardener up on stage. This one comes from Stephen, who is from Fairmount, and he says that about 300 of his neighbors are involved in Spring Gardens, a community garden that has strengthened our neighborhood. How would you protect this and other similar community gardens as a fellow gardener?
Well, I think you need to have the support of the neighbors and also the support of the city administration by making sure that this is something that is important. Once again, it takes leadership. It takes the fact that, hey, gardens are important. But you know what's really wonderful about gardens? It's stretching